Assuming yes. I'm assuming for you, yes.
Absolutely.
So, okay. Why should the guy pay?
He asked
Hold
me.
on.
Sorry.
Let's start over here really quick. Just a layup every time. Okay. Okay, you go ahead.
He asked me on the date. If I'm asking a guy on a date, I'm probably going to pay for his
Okay.
meal, but I'm never asking a guy on a date.
That's convenient.
It is.
So, okay,
isn't
well-
it?
Well,
Right?
when second dates and third dates come along,
I'm talking
same
about
with-
first
yeah.
dates. I'm talking
For
about
first
dates.
date, I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that he asked me out. Hey, Lindsay, I'm into you. Let me take you out to dinner. Or, I actually have a weird thing about eating in front of people. I do not like to do that. It's like my
dinner dates are
nightmare
an
first
L.
date. So, like, if even more than that, if a guy's like, hey, let's do something, he better have a plan of what we're doing. If we're going spending the day together and doing something, he better have that planned. It's not like, hey, Lynn, like, what do you want to do?
Okay.
So it's even more than paying for it. There should be some more thought, some more effort. The initial, maybe first, second date, if you continue to ask me out, because as a lady, I think that I should wait to be, asked. I'm not going to say, well, when are you taking me out next? I think that, once you're in a committed relationship, I'd be happy to put down my card. I'd be happy to leave the tip. I'm not like, I need someone to pay for everything.
Okay, let's let some other people get an opportunity to speak. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a date. We're not just hanging out. If we're friends and I'm hanging out with my guy friend, maybe I'll pay for his taco. Doesn't matter. I'm not expecting him to pay, but this is a date. I think if you're trying to, and I don't want to say, because I'm not a prize, but if you're trying to win me over, I think that you should be doing these things,
And then your take.
I agree. I think if you're asking me out and you're gonna take time out of my schedule, I mean, this is just first date, right? So first date, yeah, pay for me. But if there's follow-up dates, then take
Okay,
turns.
so all of you said either whoever asks or the guy should pay. Have you ever asked out? Who said whoever asks should pay? You two. Have you ever asked a guy out on a date?
Yes, actually.
Of all the first dates you've ever been on,
One, when I've asked.
how many first dates have you been on?
5, 6?
So 5, they asked you, 1 you asked.
Yes, and I did pay.
When you asked.
Yes.
Fair enough. What about you?
I have never asked a man on a date.
How many first dates have you been on?
I want to say maybe like 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay, so you've been asked out on all those dates.
But he has not paid every single time.
Most of the time, did they pay?
Every time except one. The one that
Okay.
he didn't, I never talked to him again.
Oh, so okay, when he didn't pay, you'd never. So that's another question really quick. If you went out on a date with a guy and he said, hey, I'd like to, the check comes or whatever, maybe you get food, maybe you get tea, maybe whatever, you get coffee, you get a drink, and the guy says, hey, let's split the bill,
So embarrassing. I'll just put my card down.
but you'll never see him again.
If I really like the guy, I mean, in the instance, how am I really going to like a guy after a first
Let's
date?
just say it's like of
No.
average
No.
interest.
No.
Okay, what about you?
I don't think so. And it's like
You wouldn't?
first impressions are everything.
Okay, what about you?
Seriously depends on how the date went. And we already said, if we fall in love with a guy and he's broke, I would be willing to work with that. And I don't want to say financially support him, but if we're going out and doing something together.
Okay, he's just asking.
No,
if
I
you
wouldn't
want
see
to
him again. I
split.
think you're going to get that answer from all of us. We all just said no.
Okay, allow them to answer. Go ahead. You'd not see him again.
Not because of that, but I mean,
That's what
this
I'm
is
asking.
actually an
That's what
instance.
I'm
This has happened to me, actually.
Okay,
kind of.
tell us quickly what.
This was a Tinder date. It was stupid. I went on a date with this guy, and he had me drive him around, which is also fine. Okay, he asked me to drive. We went.
He had a DUI or something.
He was just his truck something. It was stupid. And we're hanging out. He's like an SDSU frat guy. I'm not into it. Whatever. The whole vibe is off. It's just terrible. And then he turns to me and he tells me that he's hungry, like I'm some sort of Uber driver or something. And I was like, okay, let's go get food. So we go to McDonald's, and he turns to me after paying. It's at the kiosk. He gets like a 20-piece nugget, and he goes, "So who's paying, you or me?" But it wasn't even for me. He was asking, and then I it's a joke, and I'm like, I thought he was joking, so I was like, okay, let's rock paper scissors, like, to see who pays. And I lose, and he looks at my pocket. He's like, so you're gonna pay for that? And I pull out my card, and I pay for his stupid nuggets.
You didn't get anything?
I didn't get anything.
What a legend.
I was
Yo,
like, I'm not
W's in the chat for the SDSU frat boy.
Like,
Finessed.
No, like, do you remember at the very beginning of this where I was like, this is
Tinder,
dysfunctional?
yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
I can totally see that.
No, like,
yeah.
like that's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing.
Let's have her go. Go ahead.
What was the question?
Bro, are you just not listening?
No, I am listening. It was just like,
Okay,
it's like
you're on a date with a
Yeah.
guy, right? Let's say he asked you, but he says at the end of the date, do you want to split the bill?
the thing is with me, like, maybe like last year I would have been like, oh yeah, like I'll see him again. But like now people are trying to tell me to be more like, you know, like have him take care of me more. So like, I don't know, like I feel like I would make excuses and be like, yeah, I'll see you again.
Okay, so it wouldn't bother you
No, not really.
if the guy, wanted to split the bill.
Yeah. Like it depends though.
Okay. So-
It should bother you, like that and I realize, like, I'm married, but I still have like functioning ovaries, and I also study, like, you know, literature and art. Like, it should bother you if a man likes you, if he thinks that you're valuable, he's going to pay, even if you invite him. Okay, like if you invite him, you say like, I want to take you on a date or something like that. Like, if he enjoys the time that he spent with you, he's gonna make sure that he pays. So like, my question is, well, number one, like, why are we choosing these men that want to split McNuggets, ma'am? I don't know what was going through your mind, but you know.
I mean,
Did
you
he
can't see it
hit?
come-
Did he hit?
No.
Stop the count.
Come on, bruv.
yeah,
You were like, who's this Chad who just made me pay for his nugs?
like I think we have.
What about like maybe not hit, but did you like, you know?
Did
Little
he get a
backseat?
smooch? Did you
Was there a
kiss
little
him?
bit-
Did
Yeah,
you
we
kiss him?
kissed.
Oh, you made out.
That's just as, I mean, not just as bad,
After
but
or
like that's
before
still
the
bad.
nuggets? After or before the nuggets?
Before, like, we kissed and then we went to McDonald's.
Was there a kiss after?
No.
Okay, whatever. Go ahead, Allie.
The thing about it is like, if you guys are wanting men to be masculine, like, you are gonna have to find and figure out some type of way to be feminine, okay? And I think, like, in the West, we really struggle with this concept of femininity, and it requires that you are more demure and that you follow his lead, which means like you have to allow him to lead. So if you start off like relationships with that premise, like, yeah, I'm okay with paying, how far is he gonna like take that assumption, right? Like,
Yeah.
like,
So
yeah,
far.
I'm okay with paying the rent. Like, it happens to women, but like, we do have to look at ourselves. We're asking for these men. Are we worth these men? Most women, you guys could be like very different, because obviously like nobody's overweight or obese here tonight. Shout out to y'all. But like, a lot of women have that expectation of men, and they are not willing to femme up, and they should, because we constantly tell men to man up, but we never tell women to femme up. Because I think like that's like a complete, you know, just like complete taking advantage, right? Like, I think that men, if they have a bad time with a woman, I think it's completely acceptable that he just throws cash on the table and walks out, like pays for his half of the meal and doesn't pay for the whole thing. But men don't pay for a bad time with a woman either. So just be pleasant and be worthwhile. You know what I mean? Like, respect that a man is spending his resources for you on the date. But yeah, like, this is what I meant at the beginning when I was like, I worry about these things. This sounds dysfunctional. Like, that's dysfunctional as hell. McNuggets?
Totally.
McNuggets.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Girl, you were.
I never want to go on
yeah.
a date like that again. That was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as far as the whole like who asks thing, for those of you who said, well, whoever asks should pay, from what you answered, you said, well, maybe one of you asked one time. The whole whoever asks thing, your answer may as well be men should pay. If it's whoever asks, if you never ask men.
Well, not never. Not never.
Okay, but men overwhelmingly are the ones that initiate.
Yes,
It's
and
an
she
ish-
just
So-
completely
What's
answered that,
It's
question.
an ish test. It's a, so well, I can, okay, I'll curse here for the sake of it. It's a shit test. That's what we're doing. Like, we're testing these men, right? Because it's like, as a woman, if you invite a man out, you should be just ethically prepared to pay for that date if you ask him out, right? Do we actually want for the man to let us pay?
No.
Typically, no.
No.
Right? So, like,
No.
we're testing them. So
No.
this is like, if you fail this test, like, then we don't want to continue seeing you, kind of thing.
Well,
Isn't that crazy that we play these mind games?
I think that we're being I don't even want to say smart right here, but like the instance that, you know, I suggested to my friend, like, hey, let's go see this movie. And he was like, okay. Before we even got to the movie theater, I had bought the tickets online. Like, I wanted to do that for whatever reason. I wish I could share that now. I don't know why, because I know if we got to the movie, he would have paid. But possibly because we were friends before, and you know, it was kind of first.
I think like what they're just trying, because it's a male viewership. I think what we're trying to say is like, pay for the date, even if we say that we're going to pay for it because it's a test. At the same time, though, like there are some issues when it comes to we want equality with men, but then we're like, except for
Disavow.
these things, except for these double standards that happen to benefit us, and then we don't want equality with men. So I think we just need to fess up to that. And if we have like internalized feminism, because we talk about internalized misogyny all the time, I think we're like, if we have internalized feminism, we also need to like kind of check that.
Do you consider yourself a feminist?
No, definitely not. Like not in any way, shape, or form.
Do you think that men and women are equal?
No, we're different. Like we're equal in importance for the human race, but we're not equal by design, and that's okay. We're apples and oranges. I don't want to compete
totally
with a man.
agree. I totally agree.
Chivalry is dead, and women killed it.
Yes.
I don't think men, you need to protect yourselves, because men, the big thing we don't want, men care about respect, and men don't want to be made out to be suckers. And the fact of the matter is, when you're back 20, well, it's gotten worse since social media and dating apps. Back 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, if you went on a first date with a girl, the likelihood that she had a genuine interest in you and wasn't just using you because she was bored or she wants a free meal, or just the fact that we have so many options today, that the likelihood that any one given first date even ends up becoming a second date is very small. Most first dates don't lead anywhere.
I'm sorry, is that nowadays you're saying?
Nowadays.
Okay.
In the past, you'd maybe go on like 3 first dates and then you're married. Now motherfuckers be going on 3 dates a week.
Yeah.
And men, you need to protect your, like, I know, look, here's my thing. Are you probably going to lose girls if you don't pay for the date? Yes. However, it's a matter of principle. I'm not going to be paying for a girl on a date that's f***ing another dude, and most of these chicks are f***ing other dudes. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of girls, most girls have some dude that they're sleeping with, or they're dating other guys. I'm not going to adhere to my traditional gender roles with a woman that's not adhering to hers. In other words, basically not being promiscuous. Most women are promiscuous.
So
so are guys. I'm dating a guy
No,
who's probably
that's
dating
not
a couple
true.
other-
That's actually
That is
not true. There are more women who are promiscuous than there are men.
Okay,
most
but-
men have no options, whereas take an average woman. If you take an average woman, she has the equivalent sexual pull of a male celebrity.
I see your point here, but I'm going on a date with a guy and he goes out the next night and we're not, exclusive or anything, and some 8 throws herself at him, he's going to take it. Because like you said, men are easier than women are.
Right, but there's the value exchange on the first date. Y'all just said you want men to pay for the first date. Why should the guy, you're adhering to your traditional gender roles. You are giving value by paying for the date. So as a woman, like if the guy, he's f***ing other chicks, but he still pays for the date, like you're not made out to necessarily be a sucker in that situation. Whereas men are going on $50, $100, $150 sushi dates. And I don't think you should be going on dinner dates, but a lot of guys are going to do that. And a lot of women can command men that will do that.
So
I think
like
the
I
better
said,
question is like why do you deserve, as the company, the guest, why do you deserve that man to pay for that first date?
like I said, it was controversial. You asked what my most controversial take was.
We're not talking.
I
we're like
think
way
that-
past.
Well, that's
what
for
you
the
brought
man
up.
to decide.
No, hold on. Like we're way past the point that you brought up, right? This is a genuine question, and we should be able to answer this, like as people that are dating, right? Why do we deserve for that man to pay for that first date?
I bring a lot to the table. I think that that's just, like I said, I'm more of a traditional woman, and I think that that is what I expect. It's just what I expect.
Okay. So, like, I live in the Midwest. I talk to trad cons. Traditional women, typically, like, that actual standard, the benchmark, is if she saved herself for marriage. Point blank, period, the end, right?
Well, of course. That's why I said more traditional.
Yeah. Okay.
more
so
on that. It's a spectrum now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's been a little.
I like why can't we
disheveled
answer the
throughout the
simple
years.
question? Like it's a very simple question. Why do we deserve for that man to pay for that first date?
I
Like
just
think
said-
about
They don't.
I brought
The
I
second
bring
he
a ton
asked
to
me
the
on a
table.
date, that's when I earned
I
it.
don't think that's
like,
enough.
That doesn't make any sense. Like think about this. Like you're spending time. Time is a finite resource. You don't get it back. We're all gonna die one day. Each second is valuable.
For sure, but women also spend time and money on their appearance and looks,
Like,
and
but
sure, men do too. But think about the money that goes into the vanity that we all have to deal with every day.
Okay.
That's just
Hold
a
on.
bad
But-
explanation. Like,
But I think it's
hold
such a
on.
silly question.
No, it's not.
Wait,
why
let me-
is that a silly question? Because it's like we would tell them the same thing. Like we would quickly tell a man, I deserve for you to pay the first date, and we can't even say why.
I
Right? Like
think
what
Brian
are
is
you
trying to
bringing
talk.
to the okay? But this is a simple question. You say like I bring a pleasant time. I bring a good time. I bring good banter. I'm easy on the eyes. Why can't we articulate these things? Are
What's
we
the
not
answer you're
bringing
looking
anything?
for? That I'm a virgin?
No.
I'm confused because you agree with us. A man should pay on the first date. I'm
Yes.
so confused. What is
No.
the answer you'd like to hear right now?
Because it's crazy that we cannot articulate as women who are dating why we deserve for that man to pay for that first date. I just gave you guys like a pretty substantial. Substantial. I gave us like a pretty substantial answer. You bring a good time, a pleasant demeanor, good banter, genuine desire, you think he's attractive. Why can't we say that? But men automatically know they have to pay for a date. We should know why we deserve that time paid for.
That was my first answer. Was I bring a lot to the table?
But then we.
And that was
okay.
also
That was
my
the first thing that I said.
Okay,
And
you
I
said
think-
that
yeah.
one of the reasons that it should be more important, or not more important, that men should pay for the first date is because women have a higher financial burden of getting ready for the first date by putting on makeup. Let me ask you a question. Do women wear makeup for men or for themselves?
Both.
Men.
Oh, well, that's most
I'm
women don't admit to
so
that. But
sorry. I wear mascara to look hotter because I want a boyfriend. That's what I do. And now that I have a boyfriend, I don't wear mascara on
okay,
my
let me
boyfriend
ask.
all the time.
I feel like I got to start over here. Okay,
Sorry,
Rin,
that was really
Do you wear
controversial.
makeup? Do you wear makeup for yourself or for men?
Both.
Both.
Myself.
You wear it for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think one of the reasons a man should pay for a first date is because you spend more time getting ready, you have to wear makeup, that costs something?
I mean, it does cost something, but it shouldn't be everything. I think if the connection is good, then that should kind of.
Well,
based
it's
off of
okay.
it.
So it's so interesting because on one hand, a lot of women will say, well, I don't wear makeup for men, I do it for myself. But then they'll say that
Well, the reason
the
that
guy
I
should pay for the date because I have to get ready, I have to do all this.
Oh, okay. I understand. I'd like to address that. But that was not truthfully my answer to your question. I was confused on the answer you were looking for because I believe I stated it before when I told you I'm loyal, I'm compassionate, I'm loving. I as well bring a lot to the table. So I was confused on the answer you were looking for.
Right. So it's like these are all women have a really hard time articulating what they bring to the table, and I think sometimes
Wait,
it calls
what
into
about-
question like, are we actually bringing something to the table, right? Because we think like, well, my company's enough. It's like a lot of women can offer their company. What makes you special? What makes you different? What makes you worth? Because when we think about this money that men have, we take it for granted, right? This is time that man spends out of his life to earn those resources to share it with you. Why are we deserving? And why can't we articulate that? If we're going to be dating, and you said you're looking for marriage and hopefully children, I think did you say that earlier?
I said that, yes.
Yeah. Like that's my question, because men don't know automatically off rip
As
why they have to pay.
I cannot speak on behalf of all women. That's why
No,
if I
for
were a man, I
yourself.
wouldn't be dating all women. I think I'm engaging, I'm funny, I'm thought-provoking, I think I'm pretty cool.
Men don't care about if you're funny.
I understand that, but I crack
No,
myself
well,
up,
no,
so
no,
I'm going to
you-
count
really?
that as
No,
a
keep
pro.
going. Like you're doing
They
doing
don't?
well. You're doing well. Like you're answering very like this.
I
that's
think
what was
I think that
looking for.
I'm pretty thoughtful. I'm sorry, I just didn't know you wanted a list of why I think I'm so great, because I've been seen myself called egotistical and a narcissist like 97 times, which is totally fine.
Don't worry about that.
It's totally fine. I just, I didn't realize you were
Okay,
listening.
you said
Yeah.
funny. Where on the totem pole of what men care about in a woman
You know, I found
is
I
funny?
heard something the other day that was like, when they asked a bunch of men and women like, what's important to you when dating, and they both said sense of humor. Men define a sense of No, this is true. Women define a sense of humor as a guy that makes a guy that makes them laugh, and then men define a sense of humor as a guy who thinks
that the woman is
thinks that he's funny.
Okay, yes,
right.
I see what you're
so
saying.
I think we all can agree, like, men are kind of the comedians, but I'd like to say I have my silly moments. Like, I like to think of myself as like a good time
She's
and funny.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're like, I would say like you're okay. Majority of women are just like not funny to men, just because they have a different sense of humor.
Totally,
but like
totally.
you bring the silliness, the playfulness, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like we just have to be prepared to ask these questions because we're constantly being like, this is what I deserve from men, and we're not willing to say like, well, gee, like, did I earn that? You know? It's just a good question to ask. That's all that it is.
Yeah.
'Cause I know we're in that. Like, did you see what happened? Like, you said that I, for some reason, thought that you needed to be a virgin to have that first date paid for.
I was truthfully trying to understand the answer you were looking for, and your answer was a list of qualities that I myself possess.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking a broad question. As women, why do we deserve to have the first date paid for? We don't. Like, every single woman, no, I don't think every single woman is great. I don't think every woman is marriage worthy. Like, that's the whole point of dating. That's why you have to feel them out, see who is your vibe. But
You know what's like a good answer that you could say too, that for some reason like people don't want to say it, is like, you're hot, right? Like, I mean, you guys can't tell because y'all can only see her from the waist up, right? But you work very hard on your body. Like, you can actually leverage that. Like, you can say like, well, I'm actually beautiful and I put a lot into my fitness and I put a lot into my nutrition. Like that, you don't have to shy away from that being a quality too. But just so y'all know, like, looks get you in the door. A personality is what keeps. Don't get me wrong, but looks get you in the door. So like, we have women out here looking like a whole like adjustable 4, okay, trying to be like, I deserve to be paid on a first date. It's like, boo,
Yeah,
the kind of men
why?
that want you, like, you're not going to be happy with them.
okay, so is what I'm hearing, the answer you wanted from me was because
About you, the person. Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I was
okay.
looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Men don't give a fuck about if a woman is funny. Like, that's just so low on the totem pole of what we care about. Give me a boring chick. I love boring chicks.
Really? Like,
Yeah,
truthfully?
I shouldn't say like boring, but
Don't
like,
say that.
I don't need. See, a lot of women look to men to be their dancing monkeys and their entertainment. Women are looking for the vibe, the chemistry, the click. We don't care about that. We want a girl who's mellow, who's calm, who's submissive, who's demure.
Yeah.
I don't need a girl to be my entertainment. However, a lot of y'all, if a guy's boring, actually, we have a video on this. There's
You don't like a silly girl? Like, if she's silly, you're not going to be like, oh,
Playful's
she's
okay.
cute. Like, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Playful's
versus
okay.
petulant. There's a difference.
Do you here's a question.
But I don't need a girl to be witty and like have these amazing
But
stories.
you don't
Right.
think it's like hot if she's smart or something like that, or hot if she's like
You
like,
can be
make a good
smart.
joke.
You can be smart and also calm and mellow and
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying, do you think it makes a girl more attractive if she's smart?
if she
lot of-
yeah,
look,
to some
look,
degree I would say so. Yeah, I think
She's like a STEM major.
most of the women I date are STEM majors.
I heard that STEM majors are like freaks.
Well,
Is it
here's the
true?
thing. Here's the thing. Like
it
these,
true?
I would say